Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, that pretty strong BMF, and we're going to do actual demonstrations rather than just talking about stuff. So, as you can see, like I've said before in other videos, I'm not working with a lot of space here. Okay, so this is my actual living room. This is my workout space right here for the time being. You see I've got my daughter's play center, or a little kitchen center over here. I've got a table right next to me. There's not a whole lot of room, okay? But as I've said, you don't need a lot of room, you just need enough room to do what you're trying to do safely, okay? Now this is going to be a 5-part series because we're going to be discussing and demonstrating variations for what I'm calling the 5 fundamental movements, okay? And the first video that we're doing right now is going to be based on a pulling or rowing action for your back, okay? And the back, especially for novice lifters who are just trying to get fit, they're just going to a gym without any sort of instruction from a fitness coach or anything. The back is an extremely neglected series of muscle groups. Really, it's not even just one muscle. There's multiple muscle groups that make up the back, and there's just huge potential for your back. Okay, so if you're looking to build some muscle and boost your metabolism, okay, by building that muscle and getting fit, then you really need to pay attention to your back. So that's the first thing we're going to be doing right now, okay? Now, I'm just going to pick up some really light weight for demonstration purposes. And to be honest, you don't need to go heavy, okay? You want to go light. Because remember, especially starting out, lighter is better. All right, so we're going to focus on our form and technique, and I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? And so starting from the side first, I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to do, okay? You're going to let the weight hang down like this, and I want you to put your feet shoulder width or a little closer than shoulder width apart, okay? Like if you were to kind of just imagine like your head fitting between your feet, that's about the distance I want, okay? And what you're going to do is you're not going to bend down like this, okay? That's bad. That's how you hurt yourself. What you want to do is you want to lower your upper body by first sticking out your butt, okay, and using your hip as a hinge, like this, okay? That's what you want to do. It's okay to bend your knees a bit. You don't, in fact, you kind of have to, okay? This isn't like a hamstring stretch. So you want to just bend your knees a little bit, stick out your butt, and then push out your butt, and the rest of your upper body will have to go with it. It doesn't have a choice, okay? And I really want to emphasize this because by failing to stick out your butt and use your hip as a hinge, you are very liable to hurt yourself, okay? Lower back injuries are some of the most common injuries everywhere. They happen all the time. I've done it to myself. It happens to like everybody, okay? And one of the reasons is we're not using our hips as a hinge when we go down and like reach for something or whatever, okay? So stick out your butt, stick out your chest like this, and use your hip as a hinge when you go down, all right? This is good form right here. Another thing we want to do as we prepare for this lift is we want to kind of push our shoulders like down and away from our ears, okay? So we don't want to have them up all tense like this, okay? Squeezing like this, that's not what we want. Stick out your butt, stick out your chest, and put your shoulders back, okay? So we're like this, and then now the actual lift, you've got your dumbbells hanging down like this, and I want you to drive your elbows back, like this. And as you come up, I want you to like try to squeeze your shoulder blades together, okay? Really try to engage your back. And then you let it back down. You let your shoulder blades separate from each other again, but still trying to keep your shoulders down and away from your ears. So you don't want them to come down like and up like this. Okay? Let them come down again. And then bring them back up. Drive your elbows back and squeeze. Come back down. Just like this. And it may help if you're having trouble finding that balance between letting your shoulder blades separate and not going like this with your shoulders. I find it somewhat helpful to kind of try to picture myself like pushing my fists or pushing the dumbbells kind of towards the floor, like into the floor like this. And then I drive my elbows back, come down like this. Drive back, come down like this. You just want to make sure, you just don't really want your shoulder blades to stay tense and like squeezing the whole time. Okay? And the reason for that is you want to get what we call a full range of motion. Okay? That's what really is going to help any muscle group grow most efficiently, but especially your back, because there's just so much to move. Okay? So there's just so much working back there that you might not even, when you start doing this effectively, okay, you're going to know, because you're just gonna, when I do this for my back, it's almost like getting a deep massage. Okay? It actually feels really good. And a lot of people say that they have trouble training their back because they can't feel it activating. I don't have that problem. I somewhat have that problem for other muscle groups, but really not in my back, especially near my shoulder blades, like in my upper back. I just don't have that problem. So let me do this from the front so you can see what this looks like in the front. Okay, so we're going to do it again. We're going to separate our feet a little closer than shoulder width apart, is how I like it. That also helps prevent the dumbbells from clipping your knees, okay? Because if you're out farther, like this, they get closer to your knees. So I like to bring them in a little bit more so I can let these hang down and I don't have to worry so much about clipping my knees with the dumbbells. Okay, we got our butt sticking out, right? Very important. And then we're going to come down, chest sticking out, use our hip as a hinge, okay? And what we kind of want to do too, this will help. This will help with your posture, is try to look forward the whole time. I know it's going to be tempting to look down like this, but when you look down, notice from the side, the moment I look down, I'm compelled to start curving my back, okay? That's just not a good idea. You want to keep that lower back rigid. Keep it as rigid as possible so that you don't hurt yourself, okay? So, going like this, chest out, butt out. We got the dumbbells down towards the floor, shoulders back, away from our ears, and we're going to drive our elbows upward, squeeze our back, and let it come down again like this. And try to get that breathing. And notice when I come up, I'm trying to drive my elbows back, okay? A little quicker, right? But when I go down, it's nice and slow and controlled, okay? I'm not going like this. I'm not just letting it drop. I'm not just going like this, just pumping out as many as I can. We want to focus on our form and a nice tight squeeze. That's what's going to maximize development. Okay, so we're down here. In, out. Just like that. I'll do it one more time from the side. Here we are. Now, You might be wondering, you'll notice I've been doing it kind of like this, like overhand most of the time, but the fact is there's no rule for this exercise, okay, for this movement regarding rotation, okay? So you're going to want to do whatever feels best for you with this exercise. So you can go overhand like this. You could do a sort of neutral grip where it's like this, a sort of hammer grip, okay? And just drive back like this. Or you could even do underhand. It's whatever feels best, but I will say that you may get a somewhat different feel in your back depending on exactly which degree of pronation you use, okay? Pronation or supination. Supination, pronation, okay? So any one of those or anything in between. And frankly, when I do these myself, like I was doing today, I was training my back today, I use all three and everything in between, okay? So I'll do like as many as I can this way, and then I'll like switch, and then I'll switch again. Just do a bunch of those because it feels slightly different each way. And as I'm going through them and exhausting, certain particular muscles with one version, I'll go to the next, and then I'll start using maybe a couple other little bits of muscle that weren't quite exhausted from before, so it just helps me continue the set. Now, admittedly, that is a bit more of an advanced technique. Maybe I shouldn't even be telling you that right now, but but hey, I lack discretion, you might say. So there you go. You just want to go down, chest out. One more time here. And the more parallel that you can get your upper back with the floor, the better. But don't fret over it, okay? If you can, so long as you can at least get sort of a 45-degree angle, okay, you should be all right. And bonus, I've listened to some commentary about a very famous bodybuilder named Dorian Yates, and he became particularly famous for his just massive back, and one of his go-to exercises was, what we're doing right now. It's this row, and he did it underhand, and he did it, he was standing up. He wasn't like down here or anything. He was actually pretty straight up like this, and he would just pull like this and do an absolute massive back. So don't freak out. So don't freak out about the angle of your back. So just go down as far as you can without hurting yourself. That is key, okay? None of this is going to matter if you injure yourself. All right, so that is the row. That is the row or pulling motion that I just demonstrated. That's going to work your back, and it's also going to help you prep for the other motions that I'm going to demonstrate in the next 2 videos for your upper body. All right? All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in part 2. Bye-bye.